All right. First of all, so I'll not be. Let me be sure that I'm not just expressing this energy with myself. I need to be sure that you can hear me and that you can see me clearly. So if you are joining this live and you can hear me, please type one if you can hear me and type two. Type one and two if you can hear me and see me. Also, when you join on the live, please go ahead and drop your name and where you're connecting from. For instance, if I were not on this live and I'm joining from somewhere else, I'll comment Roy from Enugu or Roy Abuja or Roy United States of America, wherever it is you're joining from. Ensure you do that once you join the live, your name and where you're watching live from. Again, I need to be sure that you can hear me, that our sound is crispy clear, and that you can see me as well. So click one if you can hear me, and click two if you can see me as well. I need to get feedback to know if that's happening. Welcome everybody to another live session with us this Sunday evening. Tonight promises to be really good. Tonight we're talking about how to attract high converting clients. Okay, so you can you see me? Can you hear me? Are we good? I'm excited to be doing this with you this evening. I really am excited. I really am excited. So if you can hear me, hit one. If you can see me, can hear me and see me, hit one and two. Okay. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, good evening. My name is Roy. I'm a realtor based in the city of Enugu, and I'm also privileged to serve as the client manager for Browdy Global Limited, the best real estate company in the whole of the world, everywhere. Everyone joining, good to see you. Julian Emmanuel, good to see you. Esther Jeff and Nozier, it's good. And Nozier, which one's Nozier? Esther Jeff and Nozier, good to see you as well. Okwa Jacinta, good to see you. Thank you all for joining. So, straight up tonight, it's going to be amazing, like I said, and we're going to be jumping straight into it. I'm going to try to time myself, so give or take, say in the next 3 hours we should be done. Don't mind me. It's going to be a maximum of 1 hour, right? The maximum of 1 hour of high packed value, and we will be done. So let's jump straight into it. Okay, so I've introduced myself already. My name is Roy. Roy, everyone knows me as Roy. And I am a realtor based in Enugu. I serve as a client manager at Browdy Global. I've said that already. So let's jump in. Today, we're talking about how to attract high converting clients as a realtor. And what I'm about to share with you as well, it's not just something you can practice as a realtor, as in any industry you are. So you can even practice a daily practice. It's something that I also practice in my personal life outside of real estate, and it has gotten me results back to back to back. Okay, it's a general principle. It's a basic truth. So wherever you are on the face of the earth and you practice these things, you're definitely going to get results because they are principles. Okay, so we are going to start off first by doing this. So I'll tell you a short story, right? Um, Last year, 2024. Okay, 2023 actually was when I started dabbling into real estate. Okay, it was something I had in my mind at the beginning of 2023. I thought to myself, when you're starting the year, you have your New Year resolution or the crossover night, and you're writing down things as God speaks to you. Okay, you're going to do this. And so the pastor was just talking, and then he said, some of you will enter real estate in this year. Some of us claimed it. I actually just wrote it down. And fast forward into 2023, mid-year towards 2023, I had written it down on the 31st of 2022, leading into 2023. But I forgot about it. You know how we can be. We write down the things we're going to do in the year, and then you forget it. Down to 2023 June, someone walks up to me, oh, Roy, I'm starting up a real estate company, and I see you're a forward thinker. Can you be part of us? And this. And that was how I saw myself. I remembered, oh, I had actually written this down at the beginning of the year, right? And so I jumped in. I was like, yeah, sure, let's do this. And that was how I started. So I started off, doing the more of the thinking, bringing people together, organizing files, blah, blah. I wasn't really in the field. I was doing more of the office work and brain work and thinking. I didn't really, really know how real estate worked. And that happened for like from June to the end of 2023. Now in 2024, that was when I really got into real estate, like, the real estate. You understand? I got into the field. I started attending classes, started knowing what really real estate in Nigeria is really all about. Started getting hands-on knowledge, and this is a good place to say thank you very much to my one and only real estate mentor, Jeff Anozi, and of course the lovely Browdy Global team. If not for them, I wouldn't even be able to share the things I'm about to share with you right now, because every single thing started for me when I joined Browdy and when I met Mr. Jeff Anozi. So everything I'm going to talk about right now, this is a build up. Also, from this short story I told you, I'm going to point out some that also works when it comes to life and also attracting clients as well. And talking about Browdy, there was something that when we used to have our daily Thursday trainings at Browdy, we used to have something we call the Browdy affirmations. And it's something I didn't take lightly. And tonight, we are going to start off with affirmations. It's basically just that Browdy affirmation we are going to take. So I'm going to just say the affirmations, and where you are, repeat after me. And after that, we'll jump right in. Is that okay? All right. So I'll just say the affirmations and then you say it as well. You say it back to yourself wherever you are, wherever you're watching. Remember, when you jump on the live, tell us your name and where you're connecting from, okay? And also, as we go on, don't forget to drop your questions in the comment section as we go on, and also keep the comment section burning as we go, right? So let's start off. Now, I want you to be really present, okay? I want you to be here. Pay attention. Let your mind be here. Let your spirit be here. As much as you can, set aside every distraction. Okay? Now take a deep breath in and out. Deep breath in and out. All right, let's go. I am the best at what I do. I create exceptional results. I have the skills, knowledge, drive, and ambition to achieve my goals. I persist until I succeed. I execute. I am proactive. Impossibility does not exist. I am not afraid to ask for help and seek knowledge. Success begins with my mindset. Today and always, I will strive for excellence. I am surrounded by smart, capable, and supportive individuals. Today is an opportunity to learn, grow, and become a better version of myself. I am grateful for my work, family, friends, colleagues, and experiences. I am grateful for my friends, colleagues, work, and experiences. Yes, I can do great things. Yes, I can do great things. It may not be easy, but it will be worth it. I give 100% to my goals. I see the big picture. I am Roy Moore Ashimole. You put your own name there. You are. Nothing is too big for my mind, and nothing dies in my hands. All right, good, good, good. Put your hands together for yourself. If you say that up to this point, come on, put your hands together for yourself and put some fire emoji in the comment section there. Yes, that is how we're starting off tonight with these affirmations, and this is going to guide us through our conversation this evening. This is going to help us open up our mind to every single thing I'm going to be saying this evening. Now, let's jump right in. How to attract high converting clients as a realtor. Okay, now I want to start off like this. We're talking about attracting clients as a realtor, right? I want to start off this conversation like this, first of all. You cannot attract what you don't know, right? You have to know what you want to attract, right? So I believe the good place to start tonight's conversation is, who is a client? You that wants to attract a client. So what do you even know what you want to attract? Do you even know who a client is? If you're asking now, I want to attract a client, who is a client? Who really do you want to attract? So that's why I'm starting the conversation tonight. But before I go into that, these are the three things, basic takeaways. If you stay to the end of this life, these are the basic three things you're going to be taking away from this life. Number one, you're going to know who a client is. Number two, you're going to be able to develop the client attractor's mindset. And finally, number three, you're going to learn the activities that attract clients. So these are the three things you're going to be taking away from this life this evening if you stay through to the end. Remember, when you jump on, tell us your name and where you're connecting from. Okay? Now let's jump in. Who is a client? Chukwebuka, if they ask you now, when you're a client, what will you say? Do you have an idea? Or it's just, client is somebody that's giving me money when I give them something. Who exactly is a client? Having an organized knowledge about who a client is would help you in your approach, in attracting, in thinking whenever you hear the word client, okay? Before I go in, different people have different ideas for clients, and there are numerous definitions right there online. If you check Google, check ChatGPT, you're going to get so many definitions. So I'm going to get that from ChatGPT, or the one I got from Google, and then I'll also break it down for you. Okay, now let's go right in. According to Google, a client is a person or organization that receives professional services or purchases products from another person or company, often within a business, legal, medical, or service-oriented relationship. Oyibo, English. Now let's bring it home. Let's break it down. All I need you to take away from all of what I just said is, in simple terms, is this: a client is someone who needs help, guidance, or a solution, and pays or partners with someone who can provide it. I'll take it again. A client is someone who needs help, guidance, or a solution, and pays or partners with someone who can provide that help, that solution, or guidance. Simple. So regardless of the industry you are, if you have this mentality of who a client is, you realize that your clients come to you because they need help, because they need to be guided on something, and because they need a solution. In return, they now pay you for offering any of these three, or these three to them. So that is who a client is, basically. That is who we are trying to attract. That is who we attract. Okay? So the key characteristics of a client is that they have a need or have a problem. Okay, first, they have a need, they have a problem. Two, they seek expertise or value, not just a product. Most times, because it's land we sell, for instance, we carry the land on our head. A friend of mine said, Biagolana, Biagolana, that is all. You're all about the product. But aside the product, they seek expertise and value. There is more to what you're selling. All right. Two, they expect service and support and not just a transaction. Many people, especially, okay, it happens in every industry, but in the real estate industry, in the Southeast especially, people only care about the transaction. Nyegana inyemiru, or while you chop your commission and you run away. You even leave most times you leave the client for the company they bought from. It's no longer your business because you have transacted, you've gotten money, and you think that is the end of it. No, clients also expect service and support. So after you transact, after you get your commission, you still need to keep in touch with the client. Help them through, okay, do they want to fence? What more do they want to do? We'll go into all of that later. Okay. And number four, they offer return for ongoing services. That's loyalty potential. That is, if you do number three well, if you're good at giving service and support. If you listen thus far and you're already gaining value, this is nothing. Just so you know, the Realtors Bootcamp 2.0 is coming up in June. And all of this and more of this that I'm saying is going to be broken down to you in ways that you're really going to find practicable in your business. So the Realtors Bootcamp is coming up in June. There are 2 sessions to it. I'm going to tell you more about it as we go on, but just get ready. It's going to be value packed. Make sure you register. When the link is dropped in the comment section below, links to register will be dropped and more information will be dropped as well as we go on. So make sure you click and then you register as we go on. Now you know who a client is, right? Who is a client? I'll reiterate. Who is a client? One who needs help, right? Guidance or a solution from you, and in turn pays you for that or partners with you. Okay? That is who basically a client is. All right? Now, I'll just touch on these things. Like I said, I did research. I researched on this. Most of what I'm sharing with you is already, I've done the work of researching and getting the knowledge for you. You're just listening. But you can also go online and research and get more and add to this. I believe in being a Berean Christian or a Berean study person. When you teach me stuff, I don't just take it and run. I go and research on what you've told me to verify and add to the knowledge you've given me. I don't just take your knowledge. I often add to the knowledge I get to get better, right? So I expect us to do the same. So quickly, I'm going to touch through these types of clients, okay? And it's really very, very interesting because I have experienced most of these people. And even recently, I encountered one. There are lots of them. There are over, if you go on Google, you're going to see over 17 different types of clients by different school of thoughts, okay? But for this conversation tonight, I just choose to pick out 10 types of clients, okay? And so let's jump straight in. Number one right here I have is the committed client. The committed client is one who is knows what he's want and he's committed to getting that thing. Sorry, the committee client. I mean to say, I beg your pardon. The committee client. Who is the committee client? The committee client is a client who doesn't have the right to make the final decision in purchase or in doing something. He's often working with a committee or a group of people and then comes and makes inquiries with you and then gets the information and goes back to the committee, presents to them what he finds, and then they come to a close. And then he comes back to you and say, okay, this is what we are agreeing on. So oftentimes, this type of people, they don't really have the ability, the power to give you, to close on a deal with you at that time. You often hear things like, okay, let me consult with my wife, let me consult with this person, and then come back to you. It's important that when you meet such clients, there's a way to go about it. There is a way, you have to find a way to talk to whoever is at the helm of conducting or making sure that that decision is made. But this is not what we'll be going into tonight. If you want to know more about it, the Realtors Bootcamp is coming. You will learn how to go from talking with the person who is the committee kind of client and going to who is the final decision maker so you can close deals faster. This will be taught in the Realtors Bootcamp. More of this will be taught in the Realtors Bootcamp. So I'll just jump straight to the number two kind of client is the uncertain client, the uncertain or indecisive kind of client. They know they have a need, but they are not quite sure they know they want to start up, for instance, the real estate industry. They want to start up land investment, but they don't know how to start. They don't know if they should buy for land banking or buy inside or buy outside. They just know that they want this, but they haven't made up their minds about it. When you meet such clients, how do you go about it? You have to be able to help them come to a decision really fast, because if you don't, the deal will slip through your hands or they'll put the money elsewhere, right? You have to learn how to deal with these kinds of clients, okay? Number three, the urgent client. Now, this type of client, when recently, I had someone, this kind of client in a different industry, not really the real estate industry. So this person has been wanting to do something and has been procrastinating for a long time. Money enters their hand, and then before they make a decision, life happens and the money goes out. So this time, money entered his hand again immediately. So he said, now this money has entered, I must do this right now before something happens. So clients that have a sense of urgency, they really want to buy at that time, at the given period of time. So when they come with a sense of urgency and you're dilly-dally, you're dragging feet, if you don't respond fast, you're going to miss them. They often come like, I see, okay, so right now I have this 10 million and actually go and I want to buy 10 plots, or I want to buy this, and I want this between this time right now. They're always often ready, willing, and they are often willing to pay and ready to pay as well. And they want. Is it back? Is it back? Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Network got really bad and it has been rectified now. It has been rectified now. Okay. Okay. I don't know where you stopped. I don't know at what point you stopped following. So I just finished off the 10 types of clients. And the last one I mentioned was the messenger clients, the ones that are going to send you a whole lot of on a whole lot of stuff. And I told you how you should also keep it front of mind what made you connect to the client whilst running your errand, so you don't turn out being an errand boy who never really closes a deal with that client. So let's just continue. Okay, now remember we're talking about how to attract high converting clients, and right now, remember I said at the end of this session you're going to take away three things. You now know who a client is and some types of clients, And two, you're going to learn how to develop the client attractors mindset. And that's what we are jumping into right now. And that is also why we started with an affirmation. At the beginning of this session, we did an affirmation together, right? And it's one thing that has been working for me a whole lot since, not just in the real estate industry, but literally in every part of my life. Okay. So, one of the first things I learned when I joined the real estate industry, and especially when I met Mr. Jeff, is he kept saying something. He kept saying, he said, our words affect our world. Our words affect our world. Okay. And that cannot be it's really, 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 really true, right? And in developing the client attractors mindset, it starts from up here. Start with your mind and what you say as well. So let me tell you something that happened to me recently. That happened to me that literally changed things for me in January. Okay, so January, I've been studying really hard, doing a whole lot of reading, because why was I studying? I wanted to become a better salesman. Okay, I wanted to be able to sell better, to be able to relate with people better, and I was doing this intensive study and all of that. But I was studying from a place of trying to become. I was not really open to becoming. And it was over a conversation just with Mr. Jeff, and he said, you're you're looking at it as something you can't become. See it as something you are already. Say you are a good salesman that is becoming better at selling. And that's shifted for me. And since then, things have changed. So in becoming or attracting clients, high converting clients, it's important that you don't see yourself as someone who is trying to become high converting or a high ticket client attractor. You have to see yourself as someone who is already that. And I'm going to be touching a few things now as we dive right in. So, of course, if you're of the Christian proclivity, which I am a Christian. So, of course, basically, most of my life's principles are drawn from the scriptures. And there's a scripture that says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so he is, right? And that scripture says a lot. That is Proverbs chapter 23, verse 7. As a man thinketh, so he is. It says, it lets you know that whatever you're going to eventually turn out to become starts from up here, starts from what you think, right? So it's important that in learning to attract the right kind of clients, to attract the right kind of people in your life, that you are mindful of your thought process. You are mindful of what dwells in your mind. Okay. There are different scriptures in that. And there's another scripture that is very important that I'm going to just point and then we go right in. Okay. Now, this one is in Job 3:25. It says, and this was Job speaking, it says, for that thing which I greatly feared has come upon me. That scripture, what Job was saying is that Job, for a very long time, had this fear in his mind that this would happen. And that is the law of life. It doesn't respect anybody. If you harbor a thought long enough in your mind, it will take material form. It will find a way to come to pass. It will manifest. So if your fear has been, I have this fear of, I have this fear that I can't attract hype. I have this fear that I will keep attracting this kind of people. If the fear supersedes the faith or your belief that you can attract this kind of people, that your fear will eventually manifest. I will not hit on this so long, but all I'm trying to say before we get into this is that what you constantly harbor in your mind, in your thoughts, is eventually going to manifest. So you can't keep saying, I want to attract this kind of people, and it's not really, you don't believe it here first. You have to believe it here, right? I learned something recently and have started practicing it already. It's a basic principle that God used in creation. When after He created man, three things. There was be, do, have, right? You first be it, then you do it, and then you have it. Be fruitful, be this, do this, and then have dominion. So you be it, then you do it, and then you have it. So I've started telling her, okay, Roy, I want to be someone who attracts a certain kind of client. So that means I have to become, and in my becoming, there are things I will be doing, and then I will have. Okay, so it's important that you have this in your mind. I'm just going to quote a few people, and these are people who have gone ahead of us in life, that have carved a path, that have had results in different areas of life. And one of this is a popular One is by Michael Beckwith. He says, energy flows where attention goes, right? So if your attention is always on your inability to attract the right kind of people, you would continually expand on that inability. You will continually see that weakness. You'll continually see that, oh, I am weak in this. But if you change your attention, move it towards, okay, you've noticed the weakness. You're now focused on the how, which is what we are going to be doing tonight. You're focused on the how to attract. You're focusing on the action points, things that you would actually be doing to attract. What then begins to happen is those things you're focusing on begins to happen. And then there is something I learned from Mr. Jeff, which is absolutely beautiful. He always says it. He says, always position yourself to be the preferred option, right? He talks about attraction marketing. He talks about being the kind of person that would attract the kind of people, not chasing after them, right? So all of these things are all interconnected, right? Rhonda Bryan says your thoughts are the primary cause of everything. What you think, you become. What you feel, you attract. What you imagine, you create. Mindset. Mindset. Dr. Wayne Dyer says, you do not attract what you want, you attract who you are. Again, mindset. Mindset. I can't talk about attracting high converting clients without addressing your mindset, without addressing what goes on in your mind, without you taking time to address that low self esteem, that imposter syndrome, that upbringing that you have had, that upbringing that is not bringing you up. There are some upbringing that don't bring you up, they just keep you at a particular place. You have to discard them, right? You have to take time, x-ray yourself. Myself, I had to x-ray myself. I had to look into myself, and I noticed them. I had to start taking them out one by one. My dad passed on last year. Glory to God. He was an amazing man. He had a great sense of humor. He was really loyal. But there are certain mindset that he had, that he handed on to me, that I had received without knowing. I had to sit down with them and say, okay, Dad, this is really good. This was really good, but I don't want this manifesting in my life. And I had to actually take time to begin to see the ones that are going to be useful for me and then use them, right? It takes a high level of intentionality. Okay. Finally, before I move on, Napoleon Hill said, your mind is a powerful magnet that will attract to you the things you identify with. All right. So your mindset is everything. Mr. Jeff will teach a lot on the mindset. And if you're going to attend the Realtors Bootcamp, he's going to teach you a whole lot on that as well, because everything starts from the mind. Every Before I made my first sale, I had to go through a whole lot of, I had to tell myself, Roy, I came to a place where I said, Roy, it's real estate or nothing. And I'm going to do this at the best of levels. I had to sit. I'll go into this as we go on. I'll go into this as we go on. So your mind, it's very important that your mind is right. It is very important that your mind is right. Now, hope you're following thus far. If you can still see me, and if you're following, please drop a fire emoji in the comment section. Let me be sure that you're still there and that you are following. If you can see me, type one and hit and put some fire emoji right there in the comment section. Now I came up with something, okay, an acronym, something that would help you understand how this thing works. How to remember, we're talking about how to attract high converting clients, and I came up with, oh, I wish I could share my screen. Came up with an acronym, attract. All right, attract. Okay, Julian, thank you for letting me know you're following. Thank you, Julian. I came up with the word attract. The word attract is spelled ATTRACT. Okay, now A in the word attract stands for attitude. Now, I've talked about your mindset. We had an affirmation before we started where I said, nothing dies in my hand. I see the big picture. I do big things. I always see everything as a learning curve for me, right? A in attract stands for attitude. Attitude is everything. What's your disposition towards sales? What's your disposition towards clients? Remember, I started by telling you who a client is. Your attitude, your knowledge, because what also forms your attitude is your knowledge base, what you know about clients. This is going to affect the attitude you have. So your attitude in attracting high converting clients is important. Your attitude towards clients. You hear clients, and when you see prospects, when you see clients, how do you feel? Do they excite you, or are you desperate? You have to pay attention to your attitude, right? My time is really moving fast right now, so I have to just keep going on. A is attitude. T stands for two words. I'll read it out. I think it's best I just read it out and then come back and tell you. So attract stands for attitude towards time, relationships, action, communication, and teams. I'll take it again. Attitude, attract, that stands for attitude towards time, relationships, action, communication, and teams. As I begin to take these things one by one, you are going to begin to see why you've not been able to attract certain kinds of clients because of course, I've talked about attitude. Two words. When you hear the word two words, what does it mean? It simply means direction. It simply means flow. When you say go towards this, it's saying go that direction, flow this way, do this way. So your attitude towards, you must have a good attitude directed towards certain things. Now, towards time. I heard something that blew my mind, and to be honest, I used to be, I still am a very prayerful person. I'm that person that believes a lot in prayer. I would take nights out. I used to have a very consistent prayer life, which I would, at some point in my life, I made sure every night by 12 a.m. or by 3 a.m. I am praying in the Holy Ghost for 1 hour, right? I stuck to it. It was a lifestyle. But I heard something that is very true. Now, I am not making light of prayers. Prayers still work very much. I'm talking about your attitude towards time. Now, I heard something. I'm just going to share that with you. Prayers are good, prayer points are good. But what is more important than your prayer and your prayer point is your daily activities, your routines, the things you do daily. If you like, pray all through the night. If all through the day you don't have activities that support the prayers you have prayed, my dear brother, my dear sister, you'll be praying for a very long time and you will not see results. As you pray, there must be your attitude towards time. Have you stacked up your time? What will you be doing at this time? What would you do at this time? What would you do at this time? In fact, the best prayer point is in seeing your daily activities. So I'm learning to pray with my daily activities. My daily activities are my prayer point. So if I want to attract certain kinds of clients, I have to look at my activities. Okay, what am I doing to attract this client? What am I doing at this time? What kind of content am I putting out? What this? Like I said, just attend the Realtors Bootcamp. You're going to learn a lot of the things. Miss Jacinta Oka was talking about activities of top selling and high selling realtors, what they do, activities that they actually do to attract and keep these clients. There are activities, your attitude towards time. The next R stands for relationship. So your attitude towards time, relationships. Now, I remember I said something when I was talking about clients. I talked about they need help, guidance, or a solution in which they will pay or partner with you. They pay you back for offering these things. And then I talked about they coming back to you because you handled it very well. They come back, they become loyal to you. I know my colleague, she has a I think I'll call that a lifetime client. She calls that a lifetime client. She calls it her ride or die client. I'm very sure that that client didn't become a ride or die client because of a one-time thing. It was because of how she handled it. She was intentional with relationships, right? Because she was that intentional with relationship, that is why this person keeps coming back. And it's not just that one person, she has that with different clients. They now have a relationship that they keep coming back to her to buy from her, right? Let me keep going. Attitude towards time, relationship. So A is attitude, T towards T time, our relationship, A, action. Now, recently, I was in a conversation with my mentor, Mr. Jeff, and he was telling us something, not just me, he was talking to us and he was saying something about, I called it the build up, how you have to do certain things over a period of time, building consistency and all of that. And he said something that did that will definitely not leave my mind for the longest periods of time. It says that fortune favors the brave, right? Fortune favors the brave. Action takers will always beat those who have the knowledge. If you finish knowing all you want all about this you're talking about and you don't take action, you're going to stay where you are. You're going to stay where you are. You are not moving anywhere. So ask, what's your attitude towards action? Do you hear stuff? Do you take action when they say this is happening? How do you respond? Are you someone who waits for things to happen and then you just react to life, or you're a responsible human being? See, Being a responsible person simply means having the ability to respond. A responsible person is someone who is responsible. So as things are happening, you're taking action based on the knowledge you're getting and what's happening, the knowledge because most of these things I'm talking about now, I'm so sure that many of us know these things already. So, but then will you take action? What's your attitude towards action? C, communication. Now, this is where I'm going to talk about. Remember, I talked about, I told you that I met a particular client who had had negative experiences and all the 10 types of clients. Now, this is where communication comes in. In attracting high converting clients, the way you communicate with them is very important. You have to be able to read the room, you have to be able to communicate rightly. Now, like I said, when I was dealing with that client, there were two of us who were actively communicating with him. One was, I thank God for the way it went. I'm the kind of person who takes my time to observe people and comment rightly. I've also learned from my mentors and from Browdy as well, not to make, yes, even as much as it's good to follow up and help the client come to a decision, but in everything, make sure you help them own the decision. Because if you make the decision for them and anything goes wrong, they will come for your throat. You have to find a way to be nice and diplomatic and help them own the decision they're about to make. Don't force a plot, a property down their throat. Show them the good that comes to it and help them make the decision. And that was what I did with this client. While the other client was fired, why the other realtor was firing down, like, man, God, man. I'd ask him, okay, so how far? Have you done your search? Are you okay now? What do you think? Are you satisfied? Do you want to go for this? Where are you right now? I'll just give him updates on what's happening because I understand that communication is different for different people and I understand different clients. So what's your attitude towards communication? How do you communicate? Your communication is very important in attracting realtors, in attracting clients, I mean to say. And I must also hint it here. Like, remember we started with affirmations. I tell myself, right, Roy Ashimole is one, my God, I attract the best. I attract high ticket clients. I attract clients that do not stress me. I attract clients that come and once they come, they see the property and they are willing to just pay straight up outright. And I'm attracting the people. They want, Roy, calm down. I'm saying this intentionally right now because apart from how you communicate with clients, what's your self communication? Remember, I talked about mindset. I say these things to myself every day. Mr. Jeff also talked about it. When if you're a spiritual person, you're meditating, you're talking in the morning. I say these things back to myself. I attract the best of clients, I attract high ticket clients. And in communicating this too, I had to begin to educate myself on okay, what really do high ticket clients like? How do they speak? How do they talk? I started to learn their language. I started to learn their lifestyle because I cannot say I want to communicate with them and I don't really know how they communicate. I had to begin to learn it. I had to learn to stop pricing unnecessarily. You got some places you want to buy something, they tell you that this thing is 12,000 and you have mind to start pricing from 2K. Sister, how? If they tell you land of 15 million and they price the land 5 million, how will you feel? This was a mentality I used to have. And I realized even as much as high ticket clients, yes, they are intentional with their money. They won't just take anything you give at them, but yeah, they used to price in a sensible way. You understand? They price in there's a way they price. So I had to change that about myself in my communications to when I go now to buy things and I'm intentional because I know, okay, Roy, you're attracting high ticket people. So how do they speak? How do they negotiate? How do they ask for prices? How do they close deals? Right? I had to start learning that. I had to start practicing. Okay. Finally, T stands for teams. In attracting high converting clients, you can't do it alone. Most times you have to work with teams. The last deal I closed, like I said, I worked with a team of two other realtors. Right? It was intentional. Like you don't, yes, there's a place to you being internally motivated, doing all you have to do and all you need to do. But it's also important that you learn to work with teams. What's your attitude towards teams? Are you that person that wants to be a solopreneur? You want to do it by yourself. You want to do everything. You want everything is just you. There's just so much you can do by yourself. But when you learn to appreciate teams and work with teams, you can do so much more. You can do so much more when you learn to work with teams. And guess what? So my very first sale in the real estate industry, of course I can say this, right? So my very first sale was a property worth 2.5 million naira, and the commission was of course 10%, 250K, right? It was solo. I did it by myself. And I'm going to tell you things that I did to close that, right? We are coming to the end of this. Very soon we'll be finishing, right? So, but then the last deal I closed, we were three. We were a team of three that closed this deal. And the deal, right, was more. The commission was split into three, right? But I kid you not, the commission was bigger than the one I closed by myself single-handedly. Now that's the power of teams. While you can be able to close a 15 million, 50 million on your own, or you can be able to close a 5 million deal on your own, I beg your pardon, and get 10% of 500K. That is beautiful. But when you begin to understand and have the right attitude towards teams, you realize that with a team, you can close a deal of 250 million naira and share a commission of 5 million naira amongst three people. And at the end of the day, you may be working away with as high as 1.25 million naira, 1.5 million naira that is shared amongst three people. A team, right? You have to have the right mindset towards teams, because there are certain clients that will never come your way until you open up your mind to having a team. They will never come your way as long as you're thinking just you. They will never, you can never attract them until you open up your mind to working with teams. Because there are certain amounts of money that will not come your direction until you open up your mind to say, I am willing to work with the team. We are willing to close this 250 million naira deal, and then I'm willing to share the commissions. Yes, some of you can share commission naira. You want to chop it all alone, right? Calm down. But yes, you have to open up your mind to teams. Okay, because if you must attract high converting clients, you must be willing to open up to working with teams. Okay, it is said that if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far and sustain your ability to remain in the industry, you have to work together with people. Imagine Browdy was not a team. Imagine it was just Mr. Jeff all along. How do you think this life I got in our work right now? I've hit enough on that. So let's jump straight up. I really want, yeah, we're coming to an end. Now, really, I've talked about mindset and all of these things. Really, what are activities that you can do? I'm not going to really dwell on this so long because, like I said, Miss Jacinta Okawa is going to do Miss Jacinta Okawa. Pardon me, I need to pronounce his name with T's, respect the name, you understand? Miss Jacinta Okawa will do due diligence, will do justice to this topic in the Realtors Bootcamp, so make sure you attend it as well. So I won't really talk about the activities that much, but now I'm just going to run it down and just touch them lightly so that we can get off. Remember, if you have questions, drop them in the comment section. I'll do well to attend to them, right? So what are the activities that you can do to actually attract these high converting clients? Number one is content creation and marketing, right? So meanwhile, I think I should say this to you, please. I am a proud shoulder padded graduate of the Realtor School. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Realtor School did me a whole lot of good. And the project that was given to us when we graduated from Realtor School is the 100 Days Challenge, where we had to consistently put out videos for 100 days back to back to back without failing. And this is one of the easiest way to attract high converting clients, because of course in your content creation, I'm not going to go into this, what you say, how you say it, where you say it is very important, because if you must attract a certain kind of people, you must deliver the knowledge, deliver it in a certain kind of way, you must say it in a certain kind of place. There are nitty-gritties that must be in place for you to attract them, right? So there are platforms as well, and by this is a good place to bring this up. Now this book helped me, right? This book, From Novice to Top Selling Realtor. Okay, it's a book that really helped me. I wouldn't really go into talking about all of that, because in content creation or content marketing, the platforms you use is also very important, right? I'll just talk a little bit about it. I'll tell you the page it is. Go to page 101 or chapter 10 and 11 of this book. You're going to read on about content creation and different platforms and how they work. Mr. Jeff calls it the SIPA framework: search, interruption, passive, and active. Okay, so I won't talk about, just buy the book, just buy it. Buy the link to buy the book and will also be dropped in the comment section. It's just 9,970 naira only, and you have this knowledge to yourself. You can always consult it anytime you want it. So in content creation and marketing, chapter 10 and chapter 11, page 101 thereabout, talks about the SIPA framework. So remember I told you about graduating from the Realtor School and how we went on a 100 days content creation challenge. And now I realized something. Prior to that time, I used to be really active on Facebook. You find me on Facebook, you find me on Instagram, you find me on WhatsApp, and you won't find me on YouTube. But after encountering that SIPA framework: search, interruption, passive, active, I asked myself a question. Roy, remember rightly positioning yourself to be the preferred option, right? Oh my God, I have 3 minutes. Oh my God. So I'll just say this. I started being intentional with platforms that were created for search. So I started putting out myself more in platforms where people are actually searching for. And just so you know, YouTube is basically a search platform that now has an interaction part of it, which is the shorts. So shorts are where interruptions can happen because people just come on the shorts and they're scrolling and they can get interrupted by your post. But majorly, it is a search platform. So I focused my energy on creating content and marketing on YouTube because that is where I can be found, right? And I learned something recently as well. Sales is a game of probability. Sales is a game of probability. So in probability, we have the sample size, we have the events, and we have the likely outcomes. So if you want to be able to say you want 10 people to be buying from you monthly, right? 10 people you want 10 people to buy from you monthly, and you're on the platform where 10 people can't see you monthly, and 10 people are not even searching for you. They are just the 10 people that saw you are interrupted, right? But think about you're on a platform where thousands of people were actually searching and then they saw you. Of course, they will buy from you, right? So it's important that you understand it. I won't really talk about it so much. Like I said, buy this book, read it, go to chapter 10 of it, chapter 10 and 11, so you can learn about the SIPA framework and know where to channel your energy. I am still on Facebook, yes, but I just come on there to let them know, hey, I'm still in the real estate industry. And trust me, I have attracted clients from YouTube. In fact, I wish I could show you my back end. Weekly, I have nothing less than 8,000 to 10,000 views. That's 10,000 people get to see what I do weekly. Trust me, with time, it's going to convert, right? Because people are searching. So, in attracting people, content creation and marketing is very important. Like I said, Realtors Bootcamp is something you shouldn't miss. Jacinta Oka will do justice to this. Number two, an activity you should do is called warm outreach. This was how I landed my very first client. So, what I did was on my WhatsApp, I had over 1,000 people who had lost my contact and probably they no longer have my number. So I created a 1 minute video where I told them that video. All I did was, "Hello, my name is Roy. I am now a real estate consultant and real estate expert in the city of Enugu. I sell land. This. This is me letting you know who I am now and what I now do. Okay, what I now do, I sell real estate in Enugu. I do all of this, that. It was in 15 minutes. I just let them know this is what I now, this is what I am now into. Because prior to real estate, I had been in other industries. I had run a cleaning business. I had been in the writing business. I was a voiceover artist. I do events and all. So I just made a 1 minute video telling them who I was. Now it was a warm outreach. These people already have my numbers or may have lost my numbers. So I just in that video I said, okay, if you're watching this video right now, that means we have crossed paths through IMSU, the school I went to, or Enugu, or in Port Harcourt, or I just mentioned different places. That is how I have your number. This is my name is Roy. I now do this. If you have any need that spans across real estate, let me be your guy. I would also love to know how you're doing. I also love to know what you're into right now. Let me see how we can exchange value amongst ourselves. I'm looking forward to getting a response from you. Thank you. 1 minute, I sent it to 1,000 of my contacts. Of course, it wasn't one day. I had a plan. So I did every day. I made sure I sent out 15. So I did this across 3 months. So every day, 15. I sent 4 to 5 people, three. It was like I said, your activity. There was a time my alarm will ring. Forward now, send a warm outreach now. It rings, I send out pam, 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 pam. So everybody on my contact list. And guess what? Someone reached out. Pam, that was how I landed my first client. One reach out. Number three activity, I won't dwell on is cold reach out. This is one this one as I'm teaching it to you, I'm also teaching it to myself because I'm beginning to practice it. What is cold reach out? Cold reach out is reaching out to people who don't know you from Adam. They don't know you from anywhere. You go through, you study, you go through their profile on now. This works best on platforms like Facebook and Instagram. You go through their profile, looks like okay, this person can afford what I have to buy. They may like this need, and then you reach out, you send them a cold DM, enter their DM. Hello, I'm so and so. I do this and that. Blah. Send the cold reach out. Recently, I still listen to this person a whole lot. Should I call the name? Okay, yeah, I can call the name. You can also listen to the person, Paul Fu. He said he's talked about this cold reach out, and it's something I'm beginning to practice as well. How he close his client through cold reach out. I'm beginning to practice. Yes, I believe a lot in attraction marketing, but I'm now going to fuse the two. As I am attracting, I am reaching out. Because it's important, whether we like it or not, we must do well in this industry. We must. I didn't come to play small. I didn't come here to be taking the one. I want to also. I don't know if you're feeling this thing. I mean, I didn't come to play with you, man. I didn't come to play. I'm getting equal here. So as I'm doing this one, I'm doing this one. These are activities that will work. But then it's not easy. Will you keep up to it? When you reach out, some of them will not respond. If you know the kinds of clients, some of them will not, they're unresponsive and they will not respond. But does that mean you would give up? No. Give time to it. Say this time I'm going to reach out to this call out on your Instagram, all those follow, all those people. Use them. They are using you too. You are watching their content. Come down, Roy. All I'm saying is you have to be intentional. Cold reach out. Number 4, number 1 was what? Content creation and marketing. Number 2, warm reach out, those who know you already. Number 3, cold reach out. And number 4, attending paid events is another way to attract high converting clients. Remember I said what? Paid event. Event. You understand? Let me say it in Igbo for those that understand. You understand? That type of event. Right, calm down. So some of us, you're only looking for free events. And guess what? I'm not saying high converting clients don't come for. Don't get me wrong. They come for free events, but oftentimes that room for lengthy conversations, same frequency connection will not have, because in high paid or paid events, everybody there knows they pay to come in, so they feel free to connect with each other because of course this person spent to get there, so they feel like they can relate with you. You understand what I'm saying? So you have to learn to pay for events and attend them. And then, so those of you that will pay for events and go for it, and after, before they dismiss it, you have run. You don't know what you are wasting your money. You are wasting your money. Don't be like that. When you pay for events, take time, observe. I have become that intentional. I used to think, no, Roy, you're being a snob, you're being selective. I'm not a snob, but I'm now intentional with my relationships. I see certain people and say, this person, I want to get to know this person. I want to relate with this person. And towards the end of the event, I reach out. I, hey, hello, nice shoes. You need to learn the art of compliment. You need to learn the art of breaking people's walls in less than 60 seconds. You just pierce. Hello, how are you doing? Oh my God, your shoes. Did you polish that yourself? Just say something and then you've broken through and then you connect. Hello, my name is Roy. I'm this. Oh my God. Because even if they don't buy from you, I'm not just interested in you. I'm interested in your network. If you don't buy, you can connect me to someone that will buy. Paid events. And this is a good place to say, you that has been hearing of Realtors Bootcamp and you don't want to, hey, it's expensive. It's expensive. It's already Realtors Bootcamp. Hey, paid events. Paid events. Paid events. Learn to set money aside. I right now I've started practicing it. I have an account now where I'm constantly putting money into. I call it my paid events account. There's no event yet though, but I'm just putting money there so that when an event that is worth it comes up, I won't have an excuse. I'll just withdraw money from there, pay for it, and attend. Because events can change your life. They really can change your life. Okay? Paid events, I won't hit on it on too long. If you're not coming for Realtors Bootcamp, I'm sorry for you. Attend so you can hear more things like this. So you can hear more things like this that will change your life. I have 10 more minutes and I'll be done. Finally, continuous learning and execution. I had to add that, and execution. Many of us are saturated with knowledge and are playing really low on the execution level. You know so much, but you do so little. And that is one thing that gets in the way of attracting clients. Now you know all of this, right? But what are you doing with what you know? I keep learning, and these days, as I'm learning, I am practicing. I'm finding like sharp how I can practice. If you must attract, I still listen to this person a whole lot recently. Thank God for Jeff Anozie and Mr. Sintoko. Dan Locke, I have been listening to him a lot. He's very intentional about attracting high ticket, and that is what I'm learning and I'm executing. Right? I'm mentioning this so you can also go out and check them out. Right? Myron Golden, he's another person that talks about things like this. I listen to him, continuously learning. The Realtors Bootcamp 2.0, start, scale, and sustain. Is that place you're going to continually learn and execute? And you're telling yourself that you're going to attend it, and you're setting aside money to attend it. 100K for the executive, where you get to know the nitty-gritty of real estate, how you can sustainably keep making money back to back. 100K, you attend that one. Continuous learning. 24,950, you pay for the standard, where you can learn the basics. But if you feel you've gone past the standard, 100K, you're in. You learn continuously, you execute, you fly among the high flyers. I learned something recently. If you want to get ahead, you must invest in your head. You guys. All right, calm down. All I'm saying is you have to be intentional with continuous learning. Okay? That's it. So we have come quickly to the end of this. How to attract high converting clients. Remember, I started with an affirmation, talked about your mindset, told you who a client is, talked about the power of your mind, what you think about, we transforming your mind, seeing yourself in particular, speaking in a particular, was one of the first things. It took me like 6 months after I met Mr. Jeff. Of course, I didn't say this to him, but I knew what I was fighting with internally. 6 to 8 months of telling myself this, working on my mindset over and over and over and over. It was an internal battle. I kept fighting to make sure that I go from being this person to being this person. Your mind is the first thing. I talked about attract. Attract stands for attitude towards time, relationships, action, communication, and teams. And one takeaway, remember, there's a level of client, types of client that will never come your way until you open up your mind to working with teams. You shouldn't forget that. I mentioned that. And then I talked about activities you can do to actually attract them. And I told you that in the Realtors Bootcamp, you're going to know more. And Ms. Jacinta Okwa will do justice to this. I talked about the few things I talked about was content marketing, right? Platforms you can use. I talked about the CPA framework that you can get from this book, right? I told you you can get it from this book. I told you you can get it right there. I talked about content marketing. I talked about warm outreach. I talked about cold outreach. I talked about attending paid events, and finally continuous learning and execution. And of course, the Realtors Bootcamp 2.0 is somewhere that you can start. Remember, it's start, scale, and sustain. Now, if you have questions, please drop them in the comment section. I'll take them. If there are no questions, I'll just go straight up, go right on to end this session. And before I end the session, I'm also going to do a few things, right? So, like yeah, oh, pardon me. Thank God I didn't forget. Now, in the activities that attract high converting clients, that attract high ticket clients, I've mentioned all these ones that you can do. My boss would always say, my mentor would always say, there's a spirituality to sales. There's a spiritual aspect of these things, right? Okay. Remember, I talked about prayer as well and activities, but of course, like I said, I still ensure that every single day in my meditation, in my prayer time, I intentionally mention the kind of clients I want, the kind of person I have to become. I meditate on it, I pray, I thank God, I practice gratitude and all of that to ensure that, because I know everything starts from the realm of the spirit. I can't ignore that. I have to actually practice these things. So in the activity you have to do, you have to make sure you pay attention to the spiritual aspect of attracting clients. It's important you spend time each day in your meditation, in your prayer. If this is the universe you believe in, or whatever it is you believe in, take time to meditate, take time to see the kind of clients you want to attract. Pray about them, thank God for them. All right. Mind you, this thing works, like I said, it doesn't just work on clients, it works on literally every other thing. To be honest, it's how I have attracted most of the people that are in my life right now. I see them, I think about them, I pray, I say, God, I want to have this kind of relationship with this person. I wouldn't say something nice. Just watch my life. Watch my life. 5 years from now, 3 years from now, there are certain people you're going to see in my circle. They're going to be coming along the way. I've started praying for them. I've started attracting them. I've started preparing to meet them. These things work. They work. People practice them and they're getting results. If you don't get results, it's because you didn't practice them and you didn't stay long enough on them. Mind you, it took me exactly 11 months, right? Yeah, exactly 11 months to make my first sale in the real estate industry, right? But I didn't give up. I still stayed on it. I'm still going to continue. It's level by level by level. You're going to be watching me. We are going to be here. We're going to close the best of deals. We didn't come here to play, right? These things work. These things work. So in the comment section, it is right there to register for the Realtors Bootcamp. Call or WhatsApp the number there, or you can also reach out to Realtor School, all right, and we'll help you and register. It is currently selling for the Realtors Bootcamp 2.0 Start, Scale, and Sustain. The early bird will die on the 31st of May. On the 31st of May, I'll bubble the early bird. You will now be able to catch it again. From the 1st of June, the standard ticket that gives you access to the Realtor's blueprint, how to start up the real estate industry, how to create content that attracts Clients by Toby Wazo, and How to Winning Activities of Daily Winning Activities of Realtors by Jacinta Oka. All of this we talked about on the first day, which is the standard ticket. All of these we talked about on the first day, and that ticket is now selling for 24,950. Okay, the early bird. But if you dilly dally and wait, by the 1st of June, it starts selling for 40. What is 40? 40. What is 40? 40,000 naira. Okay, so jump on this offer right now. Right now, and just so you know, this package, right? The package that you're getting on the day one, the standard, the session with Mr. Jeff, his session alone, what he will teach you on that session alone is valued at 120,000 naira. If you must attend that session with team alone, it is valued at 120,000 naira. When it is discounted, though, if you want to pay the full package for just that session with Mr. Jeff, you'll be paying nothing less than 200,000 naira. A session with Toby, that session with Mr. Toby is 100K for you to have that session with him alone. A session with Jacinta is 150K. So imagine you are going to meet them outside of that time to attend the day one. That means you pay Mr. Jeff 200K, pay Jacinta 150, that is 350, then pay Toby 120 or 100. That's everything is 450K just to listen to them and have a time with them. But we are bringing it to you on day one for 24,950 to gain access to the knowledge they will share with you. If you don't cash in on this, even village people would say it's not them that did it. They will say it's not me. We are not. It's something. And then for the one the executive where you're paying 100,000 naira for, the knowledge that will be shared on that day is valued at 500,000 naira, but we're giving it to you at 100K. Right? Because it's a game of numbers. So if you're cashing on it now, the early bird, you pay for it, right? And you're going to learn how to negotiate effectively as a realtor. You're going to learn how to build teams. Remember, there are certain kinds of clients that will never come in once you accept and learn how to build teams. You're going to learn how to negotiate rightly with developers and get a good commissions for you. All of what you need to sustain yourself as a realtor and build a real estate company will be taught to you on day two, valued at 500K, but we're offering it to you as early bird at 100,000 naira, and from the 30th and from the 1st of June starts to sell for 150K. So click on the link right there down there in the comment section to register right now, and we'll be ready to take you to the next level and help you through on your real estate journey. So right, I don't see any questions right here. I think I'll just bring it to a wrap because I hope you got value for your time. If you got value for your time, please comment value in the comment section. I want to know that you got value for your time. If you got value for your time, comment value in the comment section. Comment value. If you got value for your time, comment value in the comment section. All right, value. All right, thank you, Miss Jacinta Oka. So we are going to be coming your way again next week, Sunday. We'll have another session, right, where you're going to get a lot of value as well. And so stay glued to this channel. When you watch this channel, make sure you like this video, you subscribe to the channel as well, and hit the notification bell so you can always get updates when we post reasonable content for you. Oh, thank you, Kenwook. For everyone that joined, thank you for joining. Thank you for joining live, Miss Jacinta Okwa, Julian Emmanuel, Miss Esther Jefferson. Jesus, Miss Esther Roy. Hi. Are you normal? Mrs. Esther Jefferson, thank you for joining in live. Toby Wazo, Emmanuel Opaleke, Mayon Bossa, Sir Jefferson. Thank you all for joining. I hope you got value. Thank you for saying value. So we will be coming your way again next week, same time, 8 p.m. to give you value. And remember, this is all a build-up to the Realtors Bootcamp 2.0. If you can get this much, imagine what you will get when you attend the Realtors Bootcamp. I look forward to seeing you at the Realtors Bootcamp. Thank you for watching thus far. And again, my name is Roy. I'm that realtor that serves you real estate, that takes away the headaches of real estate transaction. Talking to realtors, am I marketing to them? But anyway, there's still like over marketing, so who knows? Yes, my name is Roy Marshall. I'm that realtor that serves the Southeast, especially Enugu, and of course, Abuja as well. I take away the headaches in transacting real estate for you. With that, we've come to the end of tonight's session. There's no much more time, so I'm just going to share it with us on other platforms. I have an affirmation that I do every morning, every day. So I call this the client attraction affirmation. I say things like I am a magnet for high value clients who respect my expertise. I'm aligned with opportunities that bring me profitable and fulfilling deals. I'm worthy of working with clients who see my value and pay my worth. I am consistently attracting the right people to my business. I am visible, valuable, and in demand. I say these things to myself every morning. I keep saying to myself, I'm confident in my ability to close any deal with integrity and ease. I can't begin to do all of that right now. So if you're going to like to see this affirmation, let us know. And we can comment it and we'll drop it for you in the Realtors group, or find a way to pass this. The document is a PDF. I'll share this with you so you can say these things to yourself and attract high converting clients. Thank you for watching thus far. See you in the Realtors Bootcamp 2, where you will learn to start, scale, and sustain. All right. Yeah. Okay.